Hi, friends. Today I want to share a new story with you. I hope you enjoy it. I arrived 15 minutes early, like I always do for family events. I felt hopeful, thinking maybe this time would be different. The ballroom sparkled with chandeliers and white roses wrapped around glass vases. It was fancy and beautiful, just how my parents liked it. This was their 30th wedding anniversary. The invitation had called it 3 decades of love in shiny gold letters. I smoothed my light blue dress, took a deep breath, and walked in through the marble entrance. A woman dressed in black and white walked up to me with a clipboard. "Name, please?" she asked. "Dafton Moraro?" She looked down, nodded slightly. "Ah yes, you're in the hallway." I frowned. "What?" She smiled politely. "We had to add more seats. Yours is just outside these doors." She led me through the ballroom, past round tables full of laughing family members, to a tiny table stuck between the coat rack and the kitchen door. The air smelled like garlic and cleaning spray. One plate, one chair, a flickering light above me. I froze, then turned and marched back into the main room. I saw Billy by the dessert table, already eating cake and laughing loudly. "Billy," I said, trying to stay calm, "they put me in the hallway." He looked me over and laughed. "You're really upset about a seat?" "It's not just a seat, it's outside, next to the kitchen." "Wow, you're so sensitive," he said with a grin. "It's not like they told you to sit in the parking lot." I stared at him. "You don't see anything wrong with this?" He shrugged and took another bite of cake. "Be grateful you're even here." Grateful, that word felt like a slap. I spotted my mother in her gold dress, holding a champagne glass like she was royalty. I walked over, my eyes burning. "Mom," I said firmly, "they sat me in the hallway." She smiled calmly. "The main tables filled up fast." "You didn't save me a seat?" "You should have RSVP'd earlier." "I did, the day after the invite." She sipped her drink. "Daphne, does everything have to be a problem with you?" I took a breath. "It's not a problem, it's just about respect." "You're not a child," she said, lowering her glass. "If you want to sulk, do it somewhere else." I stepped back like she'd hit me, but she was already talking to someone else. I stood there, feeling like a stranger in the place I used to call home. Back at the hallway table, I sat with my hands in my lap. I could hear the laughter and clinking glasses from inside. A reminder, I didn't belong. Through the doorway, I saw Billy making a toast with my father. My mother looked proud, smiling at her perfect son. He hadn't worked in 3 years, still lived in their guest house, and couldn't tell a retirement account from a toaster, but he was her favorite. I stood and walked back in. The violin music made it hard to think. Billy saw me and sighed loudly. "You're back? Didn't get enough drama already?" "I need to talk to Mom," I said, my jaw tight. He raised an eyebrow. "About what, that sad little chair?" "I want to know why I always feel like I don't belong." Billy leaned closer, smirking. "Because you try too hard, Daphne. You think being successful means they'll love you?" I looked at him, my voice shaking. "I started my own company. I make more in a month than you've made in years. And still begging to be loved," he said coldly. That was enough. I turned toward Mom, who acted like she hadn't heard a word. "Why is it always Billy? Why am I always the outsider?" She looked at me at last, smiled gently, and tilted her head. "Because he's easy to love. You always made things hard." For a second, I couldn't breathe. Later, I slipped into my parents' study while people gave speeches in the ballroom. I'd planned to leave the key to their dream villa in a gift box on the desk, a quiet way to say thank you. But then I saw the computer. Maybe I just needed a small reminder that I mattered, that I had ever belonged. I opened the photo folder called Family. Page after page showed Billy on Christmas mornings. Billy holding trophies he barely earned. Billy blowing out birthday candles every year. No picture of me, not once. My chest tightened. I closed the folder and left the study, the small velvet box still in my purse. Back in the banquet hall, I walked past the laughing guests and stopped at the center of the room. My heart hammered. I wanted to give them something special. I took a deep breath and spoke, voice shaking but loud enough to hush the clinking forks. "A house, a home by the lake with the garden Mom always dreamed of." Then I stopped. My mother's eyes narrowed. "What now, Daphne?" she asked without getting up. I pulled the key from my purse. "This was for you," but I saw the photo albums. I turned to everyone. 30 years of memories. I'm in none of them. My mother smiled coldly and lifted her champagne glass. "That's because losers don't get framed here." Your place is outside the frame, in the hallway. I stared at her, then said, "You're a fake mom. You and father don't deserve that house by the lake. Enjoy your party, the gift is cancelled." With that, I walked out and slammed the door. The cafe was buzzing with soft talk and cup clinks, but everything felt distant, like I was underwater. I sat by the window, staring at the untouched latte in front of me. When my client Bradley slid into the seat across from me, his smile vanished. "You okay?" he asked, studying my face. "I gave them everything," I whispered, "planned that house for 6 months, and they stuck me in the hallway." Bradley leaned forward. "They did what?" I looked out the window at a laughing couple walking by. I thought this year mom would hug me first, or dad would toast me, but no, Billy got 3 speeches, I got nothing. He reached across the table and covered my hand. "They don't see you, Daff, that's their loss." I laughed, brittle and cold. Then mom called me a loser, said I don't deserve to be in family pictures. I shook my head. Billy hasn't worked in 3 years, he still lives in their guest house, yet they treat him like a king. I build my own company and make more in a month than they see in half a year, and they mock me. We sat in a heavy silence. Then I said quietly, "The house key was in my purse, gift-wrapped. I was going to thank them for everything," and she called me pathetic. Bradley's jaw clenched. "You've outgrown them. You're not their doormat anymore." I nodded as something inside me shifted. I thought if I worked harder, they'd love me, but I could build them a palace on Mars and still be stuck in the hallway. I pulled out my phone and typed, "I'm done, don't call, don't visit, don't exist in my life anymore." I hit send and blocked them all. Bradley raised his cup. "To living for yourself." I clinked my glass with his. For the first time in years, my chest felt light. I woke up to silence, not the kind that hurts, but the kind that frees. No unread messages, no guilt, just sunlight and the peace of owing no one anything. I brewed my coffee slowly, no rush. For once, I wasn't trying to please anyone. The world outside was loud, but mine was paused. I scrolled through photos of my firm's latest project, a penthouse on the cover of Interior Luxe. A message request blinked. "Blocked number trying to reach you." I deleted it without looking. Later, as I arranged fresh lilies in a vase, my phone buzzed again. "Bradley, you still standing?" "Me, standing? I'm floating. I think I'm finally on my own side." He laughed. Then I'd say, "This is your real birthday." After the call, I walked through my apartment, the one I paid for, designed, and live in. I paused by the wrapped gift box on the table, the lake house key I once planned to give them. "Brad, now we have a lake house, we'll vacation there ourselves," I said, laughing. "I'm no one's disappointment anymore. I'm simply Daffin. And that is enough." Friends, what did you think of this story? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Want more stories? Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.